Let's talk for a minute about proof that the Creator exists. You may ask me how I know the Creator exists, to which my answer is that He spoke to me audibly in March 1993, as clearly as you can hear me now, and He's been speaking to me ever since. But I appreciate that does not really help you. So I suggest for your consideration that you take a few minutes to consider the complexity and precision of the universe, this solar system, this planet, plants and animals, and human beings. If you've ever designed and built anything of even the most elementary complexity, such as baking a cake or preparing a meal, let alone designing and building a large building or a motor car, you know that it takes considerable inventive and creative intellect, coupled with significant knowledge and experience, to design and build anything of material complexity that works reliably and sustainably. I call this engineering ability. I suggest for your consideration that this entire universe and everything in it cannot possibly have come into existence as a consequence of an endless sequence of random events. We can only have come into existence as a consequence of a creative genius that is way beyond anything that human beings have been able to create to date. Further, all plants and animals of all but the most elementary complexity reproduce sexually. In other words, there is a male and a female. In many cases, an intermediate state such as a fruit, an egg, a caterpillar, etc. exists. There is absolutely no way that these entities can have come into existence by a random evolutionary process. Both the male and the female had to both be in existence and fully functional from day one, else the species would die out. Then look at the beauty of all that is around you and recognize the creative genius that brought this into existence. Look at the complexity of the periodic table of the elements. Look at the beauty of flowers and the delicate flavors of fruits. Lastly, consider DNA, the complex chemical compound that provides the logic and structure for the reproduction and duplication of all significant plants and animals. This speaks to a creative agency with a very expansive vision and a very clear idea of how his creation was to reproduce sustainably and reliably. Surely you cannot believe that this happened randomly. I submit that this is all the evidence that you need to know that the Creator is real. Note that it is my contention that the creative process took place over millions and possibly billions of years in an engineered evolutionary progression of items of increasing complexity. I also make the point that the Bible is not the Word of God, it is just a book. Arguing for creation in 7 periods of 24 hours based on the Bible is completely irrational. The word translated day in the Bible, in Genesis, is a period of time of indeterminate duration. In closing this point, if you cannot now recognize that there has to have been a creative agency, I have to make you aware that you will be bitterly disappointed when you die. I suggest that believing the Creator exists is not more difficult than believing in something called nature or Mother Nature, which is actually a surrogate for the Almighty. Either way, you believe in a miraculous entity. Where did the Creator come from? He says He's eternally self-existing, and that is good enough for me. All the evidence proves that He exists.